We're live. God damn it. We're going to talk to you guys tonight about rifles and pistols. Customization. Is it worth the money? All right. So you see, we got a special guest tonight. Omar, like I said, he was going to be coming back a lot more and participating in a lot of the Terry, that we have. And before we go any farther, I want to say we're actually on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on. Oh, matter of fact, it didn't work. It didn't work. We're not on Instagram, and and isn't that funny? And we're on the Mighty Rumble. Thank you, Rumble, for really supporting this channel. You guys really do a hell of a job. WK, what's up, my man? We see you out there, and Mighty Rumble. Thank you, Rumble. Let me cut this audio down. And yeah, I got it. And only thing I ask for you guys to do is like and share the channel. You guys have been doing an excellent job of that. We've been getting more subscribers on YouTube. We've been getting a few more subscribers on Rumble. Keep it up. Continue to subscribe on Rumble. Let's build that channel up. And let's also build up YouTube. And we see you guys popping in like flies. What's up, Strap House? How you doing, my man? And Reggie, there he is. How you doing, Reggie? I know you got some deer meat over there. And and I also see WK on Rumble too. And thank you, WK. We really appreciate that. Now, before we go any farther, we're gonna go ahead and thank our sponsors. And that is type in saberteamtactical.com. And from there, go ahead out.
Yep. So we got Right the Bear, and we said it once, we'll say it again. The best, based on research, program to put your money in and get behind is Right to Bear. We suggest that if you're interested in protection plan, that you go with these guys. Use our code SABER and you'll save some money. It goes without saying, and I'm trying to make this succinct instead of going through the whole thing. Go down line item by line item, and you'll see they're blowing everybody out the water. And they have a backing by a major company that is out of sight. They have 100% backing, so they're going to protect you. The lawyer is going to show up at the scene, not days later. At the scene, they're on their way. As soon as you call them, they're on their way, and they're giving you advice right from the beginning. And that's what you need in a critical situation like that. We've had discussions about this before. We always tell you, don't say anything. Invoke the Fifth Amendment if you have to, and be prepared for whatever is going to happen. These guys will take care of you. Is that succinct enough?
I like it.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah, we're like nuts and shells.
Pause.
Pistachios.
Don't make it any better.
Don't make it any better. All right. Okay.
Exactly. And our training available. Our one-on-one is always available. You set up an appointment with us. We'll come out, make an assessment of you, and we'll keep it going. We've had recently multiple candidates come in and train with us for weeks on end, and I am so proud of their progress, to watch them grow from learning where the muzzle is and trigger discipline and the 4 gun safety rules, and then having them apply it and actually to moving and shooting and feeling confident and placing round after round exactly where they want. It's great. basic firearms training for self-defense and semi-automatic rifle self-defense. Any of the other classes that you see, any topics, we can bring them out for any group, individual. If that's what you want, we'll come out and we'll train specifically to that um, firearm, weapon, whichever way you want to hear it. We'll work with you. Now, the first class is not concealed carry.
I'm coming
The
down.
class is actually going to be down, and it will be rifle and PCC. Main man at the bottom over here will put you to the paces, and you will run your rifle and your PCC like it was a pistol, and you'll be amazed at how fast you can go in indexing and getting on target and driving that rifle. Really good class, really good class. Then we go back up, and that will be the concealed carry stop the bleed class. More than just shooting, it gives you an ability to triage injuries and to make sure that you are able to help your loved ones, yourself, and people that you care about. So it's more than just gunshot wounds. It helps you be confident in helping people who are injured, including yourself. And we go down, back. And then we will go to one that I recommend all the time. Stop the Bleed medical and rifle battle class. You now work in a group. You can't get this experience anywhere. You can't. It's just with Pop Smoke. We got chaos going on, and the orchestrator at the bottom there, he keeps it in. I've been impressed a number of times watching him. Not only from him, and I've said this before. Walk up to him and I always mess with him. Say, how many rounds we have right now? And we go 750. Get the hell out of here. I go check one of the students, 750. So he's on it, and he's make sure everybody's safe. No injuries, nobody complains about it. Everybody's had a good time. We had some high level guys. I'll call them that. I'm not gonna put it and they enjoyed it. They really had a good time. These guys were guys that were, giving us stories and telling us about things that actually happened over there downrange. So, they were good, and they recognized my man down there, and they gave him his props. So, it solidifies that this is a good class and a good experience, because you're not going to get it anywhere else. And not only that, but you also stop the bleed, and you have to work through it. You have to work through all the problems that we give you, and we change it up as we go along. So if somebody's injured in their leg, then all of a sudden their arm is messed up too. Now we got to do this, and now the person can't move. What are you going to do? You got to make those decisions. And again, it's under stress. Can't do that anywhere. And walk away without bullet holes, right? So unless you go into real battle, you ain't getting no training like this. And then the last one in November, and it's rifle and tactical gear class. Intermediate and up, and I stress intermediate because a lot of people think that they're more than what they really are, but you have to really be able to run your guns and not have to ask for any help, not have to stop. You have to be able to be fluid with it and keep it moving. It's not only just for that, but also have to be able to listen, right? So if you don't know how to shoot, we can't help you. We're not out there to teach marksmanship. We're out there for tactics, moving and shooting and working within a group. At the end, everybody works together, and that is a sight to be seen. We got a video of that we're still working on. We're gonna put that out. That right there, when they bring it all together at the end, that tells you what this class is all about.
Yep.
And we got one more coming
Oh.
up in April.
Yep. There we go.
Yep. So in April, on the 21st, we will be out at South River Gun Club, and we will have a meet and greet. This is the best time for all you cheapskates out there. I'm gonna call it like it is. It's only $30. You come out, and we'll run you through the paces. We got a couple courses of fire. We got some drills we're gonna run. We have a good time. 9 to 5. You get 9 to 5 for $30. All you gotta do is bring some ammo. And what we got to count? 300 rounds. And come on out, and we have a good time. We're laughing, jokes. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, go through the packing list. So bring a lunch. Don't come out there. I ain't got no sandwiches for you. So bring a lunch. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be out there hungry shooting.
And
I'm
water.
getting down.
Water, right? And water.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And we already got people asking about that course, so sign up soon. Don't wait till the last minute, because we're gonna limit it out. Okay. Hey Al, they need you to speak up. So
All right.
and
Oh yeah. Let's do this.
yeah. And also, if you Oh, go to Lace Engraving. Got a picture on the for the patches I make. Make plaques, dog tags. I can do magazines, other novelty items. Hit me up, saberteamtactical@gmail.com. I got a show coming up in April. I'll have the dates and stuff where it's at. It's going to be in Cobb County at Jim Miller Park. So I'll be over there for 2 days. Got a booth set up, and be going from there. All right, let's get into the show. All righty. All right. Is customization of rifles and pistols, are they worth the money?
You go first, Al. You
I
go
go
first. Yep, you go first.
Okay. Um, for me, I say no.
I knew it.
If it's a EDC weapon, no. If it's a weapon that a firearm that you're gonna keep in your house and use it as competition, yes. If it's a firearm that you're using as a collector piece, and this is show off, yes. But if you're carrying it for EDC, no. And the reason
Okay.
being, if you shoot somebody with that firearm, it's gonna get confiscated. I see you guys do it all the time. You buy a $600 firearm, put $700 worth of parts in it. Guess what? You're not getting that gun back. They're gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna lose it. And it's like, why do you guys do that? And some of the first, and it's a lot of things. A lot of you guys do. The first thing you guys do when you get a rifle or a pistol, the first thing you guys do is change out the trigger. And it's like, have you even?
Well, it's a Glock.
Yeah, but have you even shot the trigger to know if the trigger is bad or not? You know what makes you think the trigger is bad? You know,
Everybody says it's bad.
and the funny part about it, I see these guys change out the triggers and they shoot no better. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's not the trigger, it's the shooter. I was just on Reddit the other day. A guy was on one of the dagger pages. The guy was like, I don't know what's going on, guys. Every time I pull the trigger on this gun, it's I get a stovepipe or a double feed. And I'm like, everybody's just like, change out the trigger, change the barrel, polish this, polish. And I just went up there and just said, no, it's the shooter. It's a known fact if the dagger's trigger is based on the Glock's trigger, and if you limp wrist it or you pull your finger off too soon, you're going to cause it to get out of time and have a malfunction.
There you
Nobody else said another word. You know,
go. Mhm.
it's like,
Damn.
come on.
Okay, so what I'm gonna suggest is that we take it part by part. And we do pistols first, and then we do
Okay.
rifles, right?
All right.
Because
Okay.
I agree with you, Al, when it comes to something that you're going to carry in reference to doohickey and Dremel tool, right? So I got a buddy, and you two know him. And anytime he gets anything from a Glock to a Sig, the Dremel comes out, and he's polishing. And basically, I told him, when you polish, you're cutting some of that material off to make it slicker and faster. So he don't care, but and he's a good shooter. The shooting part doesn't have a problem with it. It's just that he feels that he's a part of it, and the only way he can be a part of it is taking something off. And he does all the polishing, all the Glocks, everything. It gets polished. The meat, them as soon as he owns it. He probably. I told him one time, you might do this in the parking lot. He's got just as soon as he gets the gun, he has to take it apart and start polishing parts, right? So the only thing that I'm going to say in reference to pistols like that, when you take that and you get involved in something, and somebody has got to realizes who you are and that you practice and you train and you promote it and you put it on YouTube or you put it on Instagram or wherever you're showcasing your skills. Now all of a sudden people look at it and they say, well, this is a death gun. You were a killer. You wanted to do. And mind you, I have heard the other side where people say that very rarely happens. You're right. But there's an opportunity for it to happen. And if it does, now you're holding a gun that people say, you have to explain that, and it's worthless. Stock is perfectly fine for self-defense. I mean, there's no timer, there's no clock, there's no points. Why do you need to have, what do you
A
call
threaded barrel.
No, that too, or
You walking around with a can in your pocket.
a hairline trigger, or these real slick triggers. I mean, And again, unless you're some kind of hitman, I don't see why you would juice up your gun or carry a carry gun that's similar to a race gun.
Yeah, makes it a little bit dangerous. Let me get some of these chats real quick. And
Your
what's up,
average
P3?
P3.
And WK said, like I've always said, if you can't shoot a stock, put it back in the box. You know,
I agree with that.
and which is true.
Yeah.
And you got anything on that before I go ahead, Omar?
I just feel like if you have a firm understanding in what it is that you're doing, there's always that leeway that you could do those little things. But if you don't know, because that's what I get all the time at the counter, is somebody that's coming in and they'll feel the trigger while it's just handed to them without any ammunition in it, not shooting it on the range, any of that. And because the going thing to say is, oh, the trigger's squishy and all it is, it's like you don't even have a bullet in there, not even a dummy, and you're in the gun shop and you're saying that the trigger's bad and that you want to switch the trigger out. And then, hey, look, if you want to buy the trigger from us, we'll put the trigger in there for you. Doesn't mean you can still that you're going to be able to shoot. Then they'll take it to the range. It won't work right. Then they'll be back in the store. Oh, can I get some help to tweak it? Nah. And then a lot of the times the damn triggers don't ever work. So then it ends up being back in the stock trigger because they just want to have the gun to work like they originally wanted to have. So it's like, come on.
And I'm glad you said that, Reggie, because I was going to say the parts that do make it more effective, like sights, for example. And Reggie says, does that apply to Gucci accessories like an expensive RMR? I don't think an RMR is Gucci. I don't think it fits in that Gucci category.
Now, an RMR
what fits in the
not
Gucci category is having a gun that doesn't have those cuts on the slide, and then you pay for it to get those cuts on the slide. They're meaningless.
Bam.
A gold barrel that's Gucci. All your
anything that's not helping with the shooting.
All your controls turn in different colors. And remember this, I'll give you this one. This is Gucci too. Color fill.
Oh yeah.
Especially on the Glocks. You guys, everybody wants to be macho, but you're going into the dollar store buying nail polish and lipstick to put on your gun. Okay.
Yeah. And I've seen that some guys engrave around them barrels. You're doing engravings.
And a box of crayons for those Marines out there.
Guns.
Yeah, you can use crayons. You can use they use crayons to color fill it, and then you just heat it up around the outside and all the.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yep.
Yeah, some stuff is like
Gucci.
Yeah, but an RMR is actually a sight enhancer, and it does help weak shooters become better. So it can help out a lot,
and especially people who have eyesight problems.
Yeah, sight problems. So it helps out a lot.
It does. And I think we discussed this before, Al, and I think at this point we're still people still do color fill. At this point, we're moving into the next millennia. So at this point, red dots are here to stay. How about that?
Yeah,
they're here. Red dots are going to become a norm.
Yep.
You won't be able to buy a gun without a red dot here in the next.
And they're coming out. They're coming out of the factory with red dots now. And it was a fad back in the 80s when race gun guys and the Seymours and the doohickeys and everything that they had to put on those guns just to get a red dot on top of it. And it was, I think it was Open Class was where you saw most of those red dots now. I'm sure the shooting games are going to have to open up because everybody's putting red dot on their gun.
Yeah, it used to be you bought the early red dots, and it was 1,000 rounds just to get used to the red dot. Yep. Now you can put a red dot on there, and you can probably get used to it in 6 rounds.
And I think the damn Seymour had a 20 millimeter opening. I mean, it was like this, like a quarter.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and now you got windows now even on top of that gun. What's that one that's closed? Noah had one the last time I saw him. It's a box about this big.
Oh yeah, that's the Hollison box.
One of the Hollisons, yeah.
That's
it's all fully enclosed. Well, there's a couple of companies out there that have
it's the Hollison.
Yeah, and that has a 24 millimeter box, and that right.
Yeah, like
that's a little bit too much for to have on a pistol. I mean, you might as well just put a damn scope in there.
I mean, it's
but it's the same footprint as your RMR. It's the same footprint.
No, It's a big, lot bigger than RMR.
I'm
It's
gonna show it to
way
you right
bigger.
now.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
know
see
you're gonna
if
show
I
it to me.
Of course
You
I
know
will.
why you do that? What's up, 702? Let's see you on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you. And P3, people still do color fill, believe
Yep.
it or not. You see them on the range every once in a while. Only problem with the color fill, it's affected by, especially here in this state, by the humidity and the weather. So it's gonna fall off a lot more because of the humidity out here is a lot more stronger than being in a dry state. You know what I'm saying? And but everybody goes with the trigger, and especially everybody that knows in here knows about the Glock triggers. When you first get a new Glock, an inexperienced shooter always shoots to the low left, you know,
Yeah.
because they're not used to Glock's trigger. But everybody who has shot a Glock would always hit bullseye with it, you know, because we know how the Glock triggers feel. And I think once you master a stock Glock trigger, you can master any trigger out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they're just gonna feel a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But I don't think if there's people who shoot Glock triggers stock and
Mm-hmm.
and
No.
do a great job. It never
Yeah,
changes.
there's somebody in here right now. WK is a stock trigger shooter, and he shoots very well with it. Yeah.
Yep.
And which one's the top one or the bottom?
Me or you?
Somebody sent me something.
Okay, that was me.
Oh, okay.
But on the other side of it, when without beyond the red
okay.
dots, even the iron
Oh,
sights.
I haven't seen this one.
All right, even
This
the
is a
iron
different one.
sights. Even
Okay,
iron sights
all
are
right.
the same way. You with
All
Glock.
right.
Go ahead.
This is not what I was talking about. Let me put this up.
Got to
He
stay
was.
tuned.
This is not what I was
Like,
talking about.
I saw something I like
See,
now.
that's the same footprint, but that's a Hollison
Right.
EPS,
Yeah,
and
I have some of
that's
those.
the new one they just came out with,
Right.
and it's the smallest red dot optical on the market. So it might be something to look into because I'm finding carrying these Hollison or RMRs for concealed carry, they always rub up against your body if you're carrying them on the 3 o'clock. And I don't know how it must feel for you guys who carry an appendix carry. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a wild feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit. Once they make them, the footprint's a little bit more smaller, contoured. It looks like it's a little bit more tapered on the top. And I think that'll work out pretty good. Let me see if I can find that one I was talking about. Now, it's changing out your barrels and all that stuff. There's no need to go from a custom barrel to a stock barrel. You know,
Right.
and
Well, match barrels in the old days, match barrels gave you a little bit tighter. It's
Tolerance.
supposed to increase your accuracy. So
yes,
that was good. But when I see some of these barrels, they're just color fill. Literally, they're like, there's one that's I guess it's called iridium, and you got the damn rainbow on the gun. But it's not enhancing your shooting ability. It's not doing anything but looking good. And that's the thing
Right.
that I say about it. If it's not making you better, it's not going to enhance your ability to defend yourself with a EDC. Like you mentioned earlier, if you're in competition shooting or you just got range guns, that's fine. You know, but they're not going to be. You want reliability, and when you start tinkering stuff, now you've taken that engineer who put that gun together, and you got your backwoods Dremel tool and picks and changing parts. Nah, you can't trust that.
yeah, yeah. Changing the barrel for competition is great because you may need that accuracy, and you're going to be putting a lot more different types of rounds if you reload running through that gun, and you want it to be able to hold up to those pressures or non-pressures that you're going to have it going through. And so there's a huge thing there.
Right.
Okay. 702 says, speaking of a big have you
The red
seen
dot. Have
a
you seen the Kraken? Yep. And the swamp from Swamp Fox and the Steiner. Those are the same enclosed red dots, and they're big. Those are bigger.
yeah, there's so many companies out there with red dots right now. You don't have to you guys, let's just go back. Red dots about 4 or 5 years ago cost about $600 for an RMR Hollison. That
Yeah.
was a 507. You know what I'm saying? And it was ridiculous to buy an RMR and put it on the gun when you only paid $600 for the gun, when the optics cost you another $600. That was a $1,200 gun right there.
Right.
So now you can buy the Hollisons. I just saw them for $199 for a 407. You know what I'm saying? And the 507s are down to $249. You know what I'm saying? So why spend that kind of money back then on buying, the $600 optics when now they're more affordable, and more companies are coming out with a lot more optics, like the Sealy,
Yeah. And
Trijicom.
for the most part, anyone that's listening to this that's not in the active military or a police officer, those sites will do you just fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They'll do you just
they
fine.
they're still hold zero, and that's the biggest thing. You want them to hold zero, and but they're very affordable now. I mean, you can get optics for down to $150, $160.
Right.
You know, that hold pretty
And
damn
they'll
good.
be decent. They'll be decent too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, for you just going out practicing at the range, especially with a range gun, I don't know about EDC or using it for home defense. At that point, I'd rather go ahead with the big name guys. Aimpoint, Trijicon, Holosun now. Holosun has pushed their way up into the big boys.
Yep.
At one point they were just a knockoff and kind of
Hollison, they're setting the industry standards.
Yeah, and
because they're just not they're using a hologram, not the hologram. What is it? It's a projection that you see instead of just a red dot. So the red dot used to give a lot the star, it gives you the flare.
Right.
So now it's projected onto the screen, and it's actually, you can see it a lot better.
Reflex.
Yeah, it's a reflex.
Right.
So you can see it a lot better, especially
And
in the daytime and at night.
Yeah, and then I remember the EOTech at $1,000. They're almost like $900, $800 in the 90s.
Yeah, I wouldn't even look at the EOTech. They'd be sitting on the table. I walk right past them. That's like,
see how you.
I'm not buying an EOTech. You know what I'm saying?
You like the EOTechs?
No, I don't. I like it for the hardware sense, but to put something that expensive on something I'm going to try to abuse, it doesn't make any logical sense for me. You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't.
No.
Okay, but you would rather abuse a what's that gun? The Romeo 5. Beat the crap out of them jokers.
Yeah, because I only paid $140 for it. Come on, man. Jesus Christ.
My point is, the EOTech is just as durable as, or if not, or
but the
more
EOTech
durable.
was $700 to $800, almost $900 at one time.
Buy once, cry once. But I didn't pay it.
No,
those prices.
no,
I
I'm
didn't
crying
pay
all the
those
time if I'm buying that. I put an EOTech on. Come on, Jesus Christ. You're out of your mind.
All right, what about Aimpoint?
Aimpoint don't hold zero.
Well, I've had one, I don't know, well over close to 10 years now.
Oh, it's holding zero?
It always holds. It's not big.
Remember, Aimpoint got hit by the Chinese people too at one time.
But it's not a knockoff. I bought it before all of that.
Oh, okay.
And then my EOTechs, I had to do that. What do you call it? When they were checking out for fakes, you send in your serial number, and then they tell you if it's fake or not.
Oh, okay.
Or if it was stolen. It was kind of like,
yeah, because there was a lot of stolen EOTechs going around too. So 702 said FYI he said FYI 704 Tactical has a discount code
on the Sealy.
On the Sealy.
Yeah.
Red dots.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a YouTuber. Good guy. He always does. I like 704. He always does videos for high end and mid end. What does he call it? Value priced optics, value priced parts, value priced rifles. He does a good job. At that midline, like $400 is a decent price to pay for a AR.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten the ARs yet. We're still talking about pistols, wasn't we?
Yeah. You can go to because the rifles. And the reason why I want to do that second, because especially you
on the rifles
all the way over there, you're the mil spec guy, and I understand it. I really do.
I'm a mil spec freak.
You are, and the thing was, but some of those guns that we've come across in the last year, that Daniel Defense and what was it? I don't remember the other one. The other one was really kind of custom, and some of these Frankenstein guns that guys are putting together with, parts from high end and low end, mixing them. That's what I'm just worried about. I haven't seen any catastrophic failures yet, but I'm waiting because I'm like, you're mixing parts that are durable with parts that have no history whatsoever. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with these rifles. And that's the other thing, guys. With that, you got drop-in triggers. Then you got the mil-spec trigger. Then you got a fake mil-spec trigger or a copy of the mil-spec trigger. And you got guys mixing and matching parts in that, trying to get to the next level. And my question always to them, where are you trying to go with this? Do you want the gun to shoot just because you think? So as soon as you pick up the gun and shoot, you don't have to touch it? Because you can't do that just by moving parts around.
Yeah, some of these guys, when you're going into rifles, some of these guys get absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they go from changing out. I can understand changing out a trigger on a AR, putting a drop-in trigger in it. Make it shoot a little bit smoother, and so you don't jerk it as much. You know what I'm saying? But going from with these highs, now you can go with a nickel bolt. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Myself.
Yeah, and nickel bolts are fine. You know what I'm
you
saying?
should get one out because you don't clean nothing.
I got 3 nickel bolts. I got 3. I just haven't put it. You haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
Plus 2 of them still in the box. I only got 1 out.
Wow. Okay.
And ambidextrous charger handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another plus.
Yeah.
If you're gonna add a bolt release drop on your right side by your trigger finger, practice with it before you if you put it on there, know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, don't put it on there because you can get yourself messed up. And ambidextrous safety on both sides. That's another plus feature. Now going from have a full rail, or a short rail, but the newest thing now is M-LOK, rails. That's the best thing to have, stem locks. The barrels
I'm
itself,
mostly talking about what you guys are talking about right now. That's cool, and that's kind of stuff that
I haven't even got to that yet.
Were you going inside? All right, go inside.
Oh, what are you talking about on the inside?
Yeah, I'm talking about changing
titanium firing pins and all that kind of stuff.
Fire pin changing.
Yeah, you don't need all that. If you go with mil-spec, it's gonna work. If it blows up, it blows up.
I knew there was mil-spec that was gonna come out.
If it blows up, it blows up. You know what I'm saying? If it's mil-spec, it shouldn't blow up because you're not gonna be. You're not running it as a machine gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
now,
that's okay.
Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is that's the thing that we get. So people, and that's what causes their issues. And we had to fix it. We had to fix a person's gun because they decided to throw some random ass trigger in there and a bunch of other stuff in this Omni, the plastic plastic ARs. And
no.
And what was it? It was a binary trigger in there.
Ooh.
And
a plastic AR, yeah.
And a plastic AR. He did all of these modifications on the barrel. We took the handguard off and put another handguard on. All of this, all on this plastic body. And then he went and he shot it. And he tried to shoot it as if it was like a combat gun, like hanging away with it. And the damn thing pretty much like shifted inside of that polymer, and it's like it didn't chamber anymore, and then just kept bringing it back to us, like trying to have us fix it. And it's like, dude, you ran a gun that was
got out of time. Yeah, it got out of time.
Like it was a combat gun. It's not, and trying to do all of that craziness to it. But I think there's a fascination with shooting fully auto, which is, I guess it's cool.
Well, it's not fully auto; it's binary.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that's the thing that a lot of these guys are trying to get. Like, A guy came in and asked, "You want the lightest trigger you can find?" And then he was like, "Well, if I can get the light trigger, and then I maybe get something that's binary, and then maybe it's like, okay, all right, you're doing a whole bunch. You're trying to do all of this stuff."
Oh, he wanted a light trigger plus binary.
Was like when, and I'm straight up just
So
like,
binary is one
goal
set.
here?
He can't change the two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's
And
the
he
thing that he's saying is
wants
that
to
the
shoot
people
fast.
coming in and mixing and matching
Yeah.
things that
And
should
then
not be mixed.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So WK said a nickel boron bolt carrier. Right.
Mhm.
Which is proper. That's actually mil spec.
Mhm.
And then you're looking at not that one. You're looking at QD sling ports. Yes, that's a plus on the front and the back. And then
muzzle device.
muzzle, some type of muzzle device. Now I'm used to the M16 muzzle device. I mean, I've tried different muzzle devices, and I didn't think they did any difference for me shooting them. And so I just said screw it. After
Right.
a while.
So as what Omar is saying, and one of the things that I got, I'm saying, what is your end goal? A lot of these guys want a flat shooting, non-reciprocating, non-recoiling gun. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How do you think it's semi-automatic? Like, we got to talk here, because a lot of times you don't pay attention to what you want. You're shooting a 223, 5.56. It's very minimal when it comes to recoil. How much do you want to mitigate that to the point where you're pulling it and it doesn't do nothing? And at that point, how's it going to cycle? And then you get people, and these are guys that are working inside of guns already. And they look at you like, oh, yeah, well, I'm just going to get a heavier buffer. Then you get a heavier buffer and it doesn't cycle the gun properly, because now the gun is the buffer's too heavy, or it's not heavy enough, and it does one way or the other. Now you're playing with stuff. And then most of these guys have nobody to really talk to go back and say, hey, man, what am I doing wrong here? Or
They wouldn't listen anyway.
yeah, exactly. And then the worst one is the guys that are smoothing out all the trigger parts, like the hook and the sear, in order to make it smoother. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, that is the only thing keeping your gun from running away every time you pull the trigger.
Right.
Oh,
now,
yes. My main man, they put that one up there.
Jay, he said, asks, what's the mission of the firearm?
Exactly. That's my point.
Offense
What's up,
or
Jay?
defense?
That's always what I ask.
Yep.
That is the mission. That is the mission. What are you gonna plan on doing with it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the
It could be
next thing that
sport
he says is
shooting,
exactly right.
collection. Yeah. And precision.
Precision, right. And then
Yeah.
that right there is worth dropping new money on parts. You're getting a tighter barrel. You're anything that multiplies your accuracy is a plus. But most of these guys, right? See, depending on my life, see, and that's the thing. And
Got a
that's the
rifle,
thing that we have to
depending
pay
on my
attention
life
to. Exactly.
on this rifle competition. Yep. And that's what they need to break down. And that's what they need to state when they come into a shop to go. They need to do that with the pros and cons. When they go to buy something, they say, okay, what I need this for? Defense. I'm going to carry this EDC, or I'm going to use it for competition. And start from there instead of just starting from YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And most of them are doing it because they want to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses don't have a clue what they were doing in the first
Right.
place.
Remember everybody was getting the fiber optics front sight posts.
Yep.
And what was happening? The front, they go to draw, and the front fiber optic is off because it fell off somewhere, and they can't find it. Now they got to get the replacement fiber optic and try to burn it on the ends to get it to stay in there. Remember all that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. You remember the original ones? I think it was like 2010, 11, and Jay was out there competing. I remember guys at South River, and it was like 3 or 4 dudes in the same squad that did not have front sights, and they had to shoot the rest of the match because they couldn't find, and they didn't have anything.
No
A
replacements.
replacement. They didn't have a replacement. And I think one guy had something. He tried to offer it to somebody else, and it wouldn't fit because that little rod was thicker than his. And I said, at that point, I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I
Yeah.
don't want that. They weren't enclosed because you can change the colors. You can use a green one today, a blue one tomorrow, a yellow one, whatever. And it was cool, but at the same time, it didn't work. And now you're in competition with basically a double circle. You got a rear sight and 2 circles in the front.
And they never train with the rear sight and the 2 circles.
Exactly.
Jace also says a range toy. If it breaks at the range, just throw it in the bag and bring out another one. Firearm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. And that's a good thing. That's what we were saying before. If that's what it is, that's what it's dedicated for, fine. It's no big deal if that's what it is.
And you say,
But yeah, see, I know. I remember it was a big ordeal because it was like 3 guys in the same squad and people asking around, anybody got no fire? I don't even know what you're talking about. Then it was like when I saw them, I said, I see what you're talking about now. They just slipped out for whatever reason, whether it was from recoil or being in a holster, whatever it was. 3 dudes, same squad, no front sight. Ridiculous.
That's actually pretty funny.
And then back to you, Al, because I can't let you go without getting on the 2 guys. Because that day when they both pulled out Daniel Defense rifles, and he lost it, and it was so funny because he was like, "Wow." The first one was wow, and then it's just like a slow grind, and then it was like, "So, this your first rifle?" Yeah, Daniel Defense. Okay. So what happens if you do this? And they had no answers. What happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? What if this breaks? And they're like, is it mil spec? And they had no answers. And I had to look it up for them. I think most of the rifle is mil spec.
Most of it is?
Most of the rifles.
Daniel Defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're built on a mil spec platform.
Oh, okay.
Well, Ralph was shooting the Mark 18.
Damn, you bringing names.
Oh, yeah, he busting them out. He busted them out. I wanted to show real quick.
That's a good rifle.
I want to show real
Yeah.
quick. Sealy is having a huge sale right now, guys, on optics. If you haven't checked them out, they're running some of the. They got some huge prices right now, discounts. So check them out. Some of their sites. If you run daggers, the Wolf 2s, 2Gs, or for the daggers, the 3 MOAs to get the green and the red dots. And they're only $126. So, but they got some excellent optics. They have something that mimics the Romeo 5. I haven't tested these out yet, but it comes in a green 3 MOA. I don't have one yet. I need to buy one and test it out. Since it's $79, I might want to go ahead and get one.
I'd be intrigued. I'd be interested in what goes on with it.
See if I can break it. You know what I'm saying? And because if I break it, I'm gonna come on and trash the company. So it better be right. You know what I'm saying?
If you break it, then you just let me know what you did.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But we're gonna try one of those out. And so we ready to pivot, Al?
Yeah, man.
All right, what you got? Want me to bring it up?
Yeah, you want to play it first?
Okay. It was a Harvard University. Oh no, you have the YouTube.
Yeah, I got that. That's what I said.
Yeah, you got the YouTube. I'm gonna kill the music. All right. Harvard University professor. He was woke, and he was all pro, rah BLM and all this other stuff. And he's found that everybody was talking about a lot of racist bias on the police shootings. Police was killing black people like they're eating raisins and Raisin Brands.
And
you know,
about 4 years ago when he did it. It was about 2021, 2020, somewhere around there.
And so he did a case study and he found out something different.
Right.
And we're gonna go ahead and play that. You got it, Al?
Yeah, I got it. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Time's up. Oh my God. I put the music back up then since I'm waiting on Al.
In this moment in 2016 that I realized people lose their minds when they don't like the result. Right? And so what my paper showed, you'll see tomorrow, like some of you, was that, yes, we saw some bias in the low-level uses of force, every day pushing up against cars and things like that. People seem to like that result. But we didn't find any racial bias in police shootings. Now, that was really surprising to me because I expected to see it. The little-known fact is I had 8 full-time RAs that it took to do this over nearly a year. When I found this surprising result, I hired 8 fresh ones and redid it to make sure. They came up with the same exact answer, and I thought it was robust. And then I went to go give it, and my God, all hell broke loose. It was a 104-page, dense academic economics paper with a 150-page appendix, okay? It was posted for 4 minutes when I got my first email. This is full of shit. Doesn't make any sense. And I wrote back, how'd you read it that fast? That's amazing. You are a genius. And I had colleagues take me to the side and say, don't publish this. You'll ruin your career. I said, what are you talking about? I said, what's wrong with it? Do you believe the first part? Yes. Do you believe the second part? Well, the issue is they just don't fit together. We like the first one, but you should publish the second one another time. I said, let me ask this. If the second part about the police shootings, this is a literal conversation. I said to them, if the second part showed bias, do you think I should publish it then? And they said, yeah, then it would make sense. And I said, I guarantee you I'll publish it. We'll see what happens. Black people are 13% of the population, and they are 50% of the police shootings.
Damn.
That's that. That was it went all the way back over.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what we're dealing with, right? That's what we're dealing with. So the man decided his original concept was to go out and prove that the police had a bias against black people. In particular, when he did the numbers over a year and he said he had 8 people helping him, comes back, it doesn't match up. They want to squelch it. They want to squelch it. For all the work that he did.
He has a
They want
PhD.
to squelch it. Right.
Yeah.
PhD, professor. I mean, they said it would be okay if he proved it the other way, but not this way. Why? Why is that? There's an agenda that most of us can figure out, but nobody really knows the agenda that they have. They're keeping everybody separate. They want that. They want the fury and the negativity and the divisiveness. They want that to continue. That's the deal. That's the
division. It's the division.
That's the only thing I get out of it. Because if this could actually bring people together. We start talking about this, we have the hard conversation, and we say, okay, how do we go from here, right? If I feel this way, but yet I have no proof of what I feel, the numbers don't add up, how do we move forward to stop feeling that way? You see? You got to bring in, and everybody talking about inclusive, now you get involved with the police department, you get involved with your government, because the mayor, the county executive, the commissioners of these counties and the cities, they're in charge of the goddamn police department. So if they want to make a change, they can make a change. The police chief works for them. The sheriff, totally separate thing. But the police chief works for them. So if he wants to make a goddamn change, he can make a change. That's all I'm going to say. Next.
He dropped the mic.
That's what it comes down to.
Well, everybody's been saying that for years, and it's like what he said. 13 point something black people in the United States. It's no way that the cops can be killing that many black people. If they were killing, let's say, a black person every 3 days, we wouldn't have 13.something% people.
Yeah.
We'll have maybe like 5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And at that point,
so
it's a genocide. And that would give the right to other countries to come in here and help stop this the same way we do to other countries.
Yeah, they wouldn't survive it, though. But
but they've been waiting for something like that. I mean, if you read the global politics, that's what everybody says they want. Well, if the United
that'd
States
be the worst
was
thing
to
they
get
can do
involved,
is bring another entity like the UN.
That's all you
in
waiting
here
for. I'm sorry I even said that.
No,
That's all you
because
waiting for.
that's
You
one
wait for
way.
the Red Dawn signal.
That's one way to ban all races together to fight an entity.
You're right.
You do that,
Look at
that'll
our
be
most
the biggest
recent one
mistake.
is 9/11. That was the most recent one where we had something happening, and all of a sudden all that stuff went away. Everybody
was not black, white, Asian. Everybody was Americans.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they totally destroyed that aspect that we have when everybody was together, and they looked at the country
like
first.
They didn't like it.
And now you got people don't even stand for the national anthem. They don't even do a lot of other things, and they're assumed to spit on the American flag, but you live in the country. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that concept. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You hate the country you live in.
yeah, it's almost that old adage where you bite the hand that feeds you, right? So they're not feeding us, but at the same time, the protection that we have lived under for all these years could be eroded, at any moment. And we all, as we hear and what we talk about, not only is we talk about self-defense, but we're also standing by for a tyrannical government, right? That's what the Second Amendment. At that point, we all band together. But how are we going to band together if you have a hatred towards one
White
person
against
for
black,
whatever reason? Right? That's what
Asians
they want.
against Hispanics. Yeah.
But that's what
Yeah.
that works. That keeps people in control because you don't look over your shoulder to see who's pushing you in that direction. All you do is see the person in front of you, and that got to be the enemy. Got to be the enemy.
Yeah. Keep everybody separate. Because if you join together, it's nothing more powerful than everybody fighting together than fighting separately. If you're fighting against yourself, let's say if you take your hand right here and each of my fingers got a fungus on them, but if I take my hand and make it into a fist, it's more powerful. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want you to do that. So they're gonna keep feeding this crap. And there's a lot of people out there believing it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people. So you can't help those that don't want to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna be involved in the Second Amendment, you need to understand what it's a part of. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a part of owning a gun and I'm going to go out and shoot my neighbor and steal his food and rape his wife and all that other stuff. That's not what it's a part of. It's a part of a lot more than that. Those guys wrote that document, the Constitution, back there in those days for a reason, because they saw what was getting ready to happen today. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that stopped
the long game, huh?
Yeah, they was playing the long game. And the only thing that's stopping them from locking us up and taking us back into slavery days is our Second Amendment. You know what I'm saying? We lose our Second Amendment, we're done as a people. We're done as a country, because we'll be safe.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Now, I think
absolutely.
most of the people who are watching and listening right now would actually agree with that.
Mhm.
We'll
We'll be open to not only our government instilling force on us, and but we'll be also open to a foreign power to come in and take over. You know what I'm saying? And the American people can't fight back. You know what I'm saying? We got more guns per capita in the world than anybody in the whole nation. So if anybody was to try to come in here and take this country, they'll end up fighting not only by city, but they're going to have to fight block by block. And you're going to have so many people fighting these forces, and there's so many guns that everybody has. We can give our grandkids guns. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. And they'll be out there shooting. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of guns you got to fight off. You can't do it. It's too many.
If you go historically, I mean, that's been the deterrent for a lot of countries. We dropped the nuclear bomb or the atomic bombs because we didn't want to have to deal with all the Japanese people.
Yeah. Well, we was gonna lose millions of soldiers trying to take Japan, because the Japanese people were gonna have their little 5-year-olds out there with a stick trying to stab you. You know what I'm saying? And so
I would have done it.
Might as well nuke them. You know what I'm saying? Get that over with. Yeah.
But it's the same thing with the ideology they were so entrenched in that they would never give up.
Right. Jay agrees 100%. And thank you, Jay, for that. And
but back to the what's his name? The
professor.
The guy with the professor.
Oh, professor. Yeah.
The thing is that we got to pay attention to is where do you go from there, right? Because when you look at him, and if you Google his name, I had it a few minutes ago. If you take a look at him and see what he said, you'll see what he's going through now. He literally was suspended after he put this out.
They're trying to silence him.
Yeah.
And they want I wouldn't be surprised he gets killed for being robbed or something like that. He's not gonna get away with this.
His name
they
is
don't
Roland
want this.
Fryer. Roland Fryer.
They do not want him to get away with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he released it publicly and they told him not to. So he's biting the hand that feeds him. You know what I'm saying?
And he was at Harvard, and now he's not.
Right.
Shows
if
you
you
how
go
that-
online and do a Google search, they have him. His work is still listed on their website.
Right.
It's weird.
It shows you how academia is politically charged as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
the academia have been working on this ever since after the Vietnam War to get that's why the colleges all woke. You know what I'm saying? They've been working on this for a long time. You know, because look at you had the radical people.
President Johnson said,
Yeah, a lot of radical people went straight into academic and became professors, and they're teaching that crap. You know what I'm saying? 702 said, "Nah, man, too many FUDs in this country." Now, they let the authorities run all over them in New Orleans. Yes, they did because people were stupid and they didn't understand because they, you know, what happened in New Orleans. They thought that a Republican president wouldn't do what he did by sending out the active duty and contractors down New Orleans, and a lot of people wasn't paying attention when the news wasn't really reporting it until after the shooting happened, you know, on the bridge. And but it was the 82nd was down there, and you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put federal troops on ground to protect people. That was the National Guard's work, but there was active duty soldiers down there, and there was contractors down there to do dirty work. So
Blackwater was down there.
Blackwater was down there, and they was confiscating everybody's firearms, and if you didn't give them up, they will shoot you.
They
You know
were
what I'm
taking
saying?
everything, even single barrel shotguns.
Yeah, they confiscated everything. You know, and that was their way of that was gun control right there. So Jay said, "I wonder how many citizens will really have the heart to fight if something like that happened. Would most load their firearms and would never come outside to defend, only defend their homes?"
Yeah,
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yep. I think
probably
that's
right.
what's going to happen in the beginning. I think in the beginning there'll be people who just go home.
They run out of food.
And, and then maybe neighborhoods will start becoming gangs. People who are like-minded in that particular, because it's going to get to a point where information is going to go down. You know, to be able to communicate with people outside your neighborhood, pretty much. And at that point, you're going to start become packs. And it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
It's going to be crazy.
and you got dumb people trying to bug out and go someplace, and those are going to be the first people getting robbed and raped.
Where are
and
you
murdered.
going?
Right.
Because the highways are going to be shut down. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're going like a recon, you're going through the bush.
And you know, all this
Everybody's going to be there.
and a lot of people don't realize it's not going to happen in a week, 2 weeks. It'll happen in the first 48 hours. 24 hours, society will fall. And 12 hours after that, 24 hours after that, it's total chaos. And a lot of people don't realize it. It will happen very fast and very violent.
If
So
you
you
look
gotta
at
have
any
this-
of these prepper books and any of these, there's a couple out there that kind of they started off spoofy. They all say, "Get out of the city." All of them.
Yeah,
Ones that
if
make
you stay in
jokes
any of the
and
major
serious
cities,
ones.
that's going to be a death zone.
They say, "Get out of the city."
Yeah, that's
Get
a death
away as
zone.
far as you can. That's
Right.
right from the beginning. And
Because the
there's
thugs are
one-
going to take over and they're gonna rule. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And they're gonna go nuts.
and they're going to be desperate. Those
Yeah.
are the people that are desperate. There's no such thing as a zombie, but those
And-
there will be zombies.
Yeah.
And most of the people that live in the city are all woke people anyway, so they don't believe in violence, protecting themselves, or all this other stuff. They'll call 911. You know, let the cops deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Or
be cool.
you got all these woke white folks who supporting BLM sitting out there. Oh, I'm not. They're our friends. You know, we'll give you. You know, and they end up getting knocked in the head. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, there's some stupid folks out there, man. You know,
Yeah, but
I know you.
Silly, man.
I'm just telling it like it is, man. You know they're out there, bro.
yes, I do, man. But you can't stand them people.
Any chance.
No, I cannot. I
was trying to
cannot
hold
because
it in, man. So
but,
set
you
up.
know, I look at this, man.
There's some of them out there that will be ready to defend themselves, bro. I can't see that every one of them are just gonna lay down and roll over and die. There's some of them that are gonna be real. Look at your face. Some of them are gonna be willing to stand up for what they believe in, man.
Dude, you gotta look at. There are gonna be people in your own neighborhood that's gonna be willing to fight against you.
Yep.
Instead
That's
of
what I said.
trying to organize and support. They're gonna be. Then you're gonna have the dude out here that's gonna try to take over and want to be the leader of everybody.
Yep.
I'm gonna put him
Warlord.
down first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah. As soon as he talks about I'm in charge, as soon as he says I'm in charge, boom, you're out, dude.
Yep. So
I don't-
there's somebody that all three of us know, and I'm not gonna say his name on this because it's wild ass shit that he told me. His crew, they call the tribe. His tribe has already plotted out where they're gonna hit. I'm not gonna say that neither. I know it is in Atlanta. He's going back in Atlanta because we were talking about this about leaving. Getting out of the city. He said he's going back in there because he has a spot that they're gonna. And I said, you don't think any other people are gonna run there? Everybody's running to the box stores. Everybody, everyone that's not prepared is gonna go to the box stores to get their supplies.
Oh, so he's going to get supplies.
He's
He
going to
don't
take
have
over the
supplies.
box store because the box store is 3 stories high.
Oh, he's gonna be
And-
a Negan. That's Negan.
Yep. And him and his tribe, and they all good.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
some of the
Negan.
dudes he named off, I respect. But at the same time, I said, bro, that's a headache. He said, but once you get it, not only does it have seeds and they can start growing food into the future, but there's already it's self-contained.
But they're gonna have to defend that thing every
And
single.
it-
Are these
that's his
guys
point.
ready? But see, I don't care his tribe. Is his tribe prepared to listen to one guy set up a guard duty schedule? Is his tribe ready to listen to a dude who's gonna start rationing food because you can't be eating 3 squares a day and just taking shits all over the fucking place? You gotta have a designated bathroom. You gotta have a designated kitchen. You gotta have guard duty. You gotta have a sleep
Well,
station.
yeah.
All
This
these
building that
guys are
he's
gonna be
talking
able to
about,
listen to that.
This building has all of that. That's
No, I'm
and-
just saying the building
Yes,
has all that,
I
but
got
the
you.
people, are they built for that?
Well,
Not everybody's built for that. Soon as you take away a little hunger and discomfort from certain people, they get
Mm-hmm.
irritable. Next thing you know, you got to slap these fools. You know what I'm
all right,
saying?
so of the 10 that I recognize names, I would say 7 of them are what you said. 7 of them, are, including him. He's hardcore. 7
Right.
of them are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And
Because
he
you're gonna
was
have to
telling
have
me-
somebody in charge. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, I
You're gonna
told
have
my-
to have a structure. And
think
if they
that-
don't go by if they don't have a structure, first in command, second in command, leaders of each of the teams, that's what they're gonna have. And these guys are gonna have to listen to those guys. And when that guy said do something, they're gonna have to do it. And not, wow, fuck you, man. I'm tired of you telling me what to do. Always acting like you in charge and shit. Always eating the good food and shit. And you got toilet paper. I'm wiping my ass with. Come on, man. I'm tired. You know that dude
sound
gonna
like
do that.
You've gone over this a few times already.
I've seen these cats. I've seen them, bro. I've seen them. I've had to slap a few of them. I've seen
Oh, my
them.
God.
Dude, they do exist.
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Don't doubt it. You make
And
a
you
valid
have
point.
nothing, you have nothing to tower over these people except death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's the only,
and I'm
but you
telling you,
don't.
like I said, of the 7 of them, they have the same similar mindset as we do. They're already gone. They're already
Right.
gone. That's why I said that. I know 7 of them are of the 10 that he mentioned, but there's more
Mm-hmm.
of them. And you're absolutely right. And the next time we see him, I'm going to bring the same conversation up so that you can talk to him directly, because we see him often. And I'm telling you, dude, it was like, really, you're going to go there? Like, and it makes sense why you would go there and risk it, because of
I
all the
wouldn't do
things, the
that.
provisions that it. Me neither.
They're gonna
It's
take.
too
They're gonna
risky.
take. They all gonna take their families into a hot zone.
These are bachelors by choice.
Oh, they are bachelors
Yeah,
by
so
choice.
They don't
Okay.
have a lot to lose. That's what I said.
Okay.
When you have family, it's a totally different story. And I'm gonna be
Yeah.
part, like what Jay said. Part of it is, but I'm willing to fight, but let the fight come to me. I may
Yeah.
not be out there in the front line, but if it comes
We
in,
are,
here,
we
it's a lot of
old
stuff
men.
gonna
We
go.
can't get out there and do the rumble in the jungle like we used to. But
Speak for
I can
yourself.
hope.
Omar's the rumble and jumble.
Yeah,
you and
Omar's-
Omar be a good match
Omar's
together.
young. He's a young man.
Right.
You know,
And
Yeah,
you're
I'm not.
young.
I'm not
Omar's
trying to.
young. Omar's young, and you're crazy. The two you get together, I'm sure it'd be great.
we just live
I
too
mean,
far
look,
apart.
Exactly.
it'd be ugly. It'd be ugly. I just need somebody. I just need somebody to make sure I don't get popped in the back.
This would have happened.
Just a little
This would have
overlap.
happened. This would have happened. I tell
That's all
Omar,
I need.
secure that zone over there, Omar. Next thing you know, I hear he didn't empty the magazine. I'm like, dude, what do you just do? Calm down, Omar. You just cleared out everybody in that zone.
Exactly what would happen.
Yes. Yes. It'll be all in the interpretation.
We don't have.
Yep.
You have to be
I thought,
very
I
specific.
thought we weren't playing by any rules.
And right on that point as we're talking, and Jay makes another good comment right here.
Yeah.
And the phones went down early this week. Communication is key, and I think some of the non-believers saw just a small portion of what Second Amendment community has been saying. Absolutely, because there's guys that, Jay, you know this guy too, and 702. I've seen you talk to this guy on social media, and I've seen I don't know if WK's ever talked to him, but I know P3 knows this guy. He posted one time that currently he's using his phone for communication, and at that point I was like, bro, you have no idea what you're doing, and I thought you did, and I thought you did.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, clown.
You got it.
Got what?
No, you took it.
okay.
You took it.
No, I was on another page. Thank you.
Yep.
I was somewhere
And I
else.
mean that
There was a spike in people coming in to buy guns.
over the telephone
There
thing.
was a spike. Yeah.
They thought that was it, huh?
Well, because a lot of people were isolated.
yeah.
Cell phones, all they had. They were isolated, lived alone and stuff. And I
It
didn't
was
think about
nationwide.
it until he just said that. You said what?
It was
nationwide
nationwide.
outage.
Well, no, but there was a lot of people that the only way they communicate with anybody they know is through the cell phone.
Exactly.
And we had
That's
a
my
lot
point.
of that.
Mhm.
You know, a
And
lot of those
think about
people come in.
You don't have a phone, you can't call 911 no more.
Yeah.
So
Luckily,
when
I
it goes
had.
down, I could see where people would be scared because, especially folks that believe that they didn't need a gun, and now they can't call 911 to bring guns to them. Now
Yeah,
we-
luckily I had two phones. My T-Mobile phone did not actually go down.
Okay.
It stayed up and running the whole
I didn't
time.
have any issues.
Me
yeah.
neither.
I have Verizon.
I'm too far away from metropolitan areas.
Yeah, you're still out there doing you was
Signal.
communicating with smoke, right?
I built a fire and got my wampum blanket out.
Yeah, exactly.
More
I
to
do want
do.
to say I just bought the Sealy G10 Green 3 MOA. And it was $79. And also Sealy is free shipping for any item. So
That's their main website.
yes, that's
Go
the
to
main
their
website.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat for us. And it's a limited time warranty on their stuff, but it's all free shipping.
Okay.
So you can't go wrong there.
And it's
and,
CYLEE.
Yeah, there it is right there in the private chat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll bring up the page again so you guys can see what it is. And
See? And P3 says the same thing.
what's
Get
that?
it when you, no, we get it. When
Okay,
you
yeah, say it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's this CYELLE. There it is right there. And they got the free shipping on all optics. That's all optics. So anything you buy, don't have to worry about the shipping charge or extra taxes on it. It's going to be exactly the price you see. You know what I'm saying?
And they got an RMR footprint too.
Yes, they do. So
Cool.
take advantage of that. Yeah, go ahead. Post
Yep.
it.
Yep, gotcha. And right here, he said, "Is it up? There you go."
Yeah.
People lost their minds this week when AT&T went down. Absolutely, because nobody's prepared for that. Nobody's prepared. You wake up, there was no warning. You just go to use the phone and nothing's happening. And
Yeah.
then, you tap it in, turn it off, turn it back on. You make sure it's fully charged. Nothing's happening. What do you do? What do you do?
Sit at home and wait.
Yeah, see,
I'm listening for the first shot. You know what I'm saying?
you would.
Today is the day. I guess today is the day. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
That's a signal. Yeah, for
right.
you, that's a signal. That's the signal right there.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
run
like,
outside and all this gear.
I love you, baby, but the day might be the day. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Oh, damn. See, that you got to get off Reddit, man. You got to get off Reddit.
Them dudes on Reddit are crazy.
I know. I've seen some of this stuff. You too tightly wound, bro. He said, "That's the signal." What? Sit down. We're having dinner. That's the signal. You didn't hear that?
But luckily, I have other communications, and I turned that on and I listened to it and then see what the people were saying in the background.
Yep.
Nobody was panicking.
No.
So I was like, okay, all right, cool. So you got to have other communications besides these cell phones, and I do. You know, I got a base station set up here. So,
and that's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they are.
Shut up.
Yeah,
You
they're
post
made in
that
China,
one.
not
Shut
Turkey.
up.
Yeah.
You jive turkey.
Yeah, they are. I think they are. But they
Yeah, it's
might-
Chinese. It's Chinese.
It's
man.
Chinese. Yeah.
Yep.
And but they so far they've been holding zero. I haven't
But
had a
Hollow
problem
Sun is
with-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most
they have a
of-
plan here.
You got to look at most of our electronics are made in China because it's too expensive to make stuff in the United States, and because American people want to get paid a fair wage, and the unions. And so what they do is they'll not sell it, but they'll go to China and have them make the plans and build at least 75% of it or 50% of it in China. Then they'll bring it over here, and then they'll build the rest of it.
Right.
And that's how it's usually done. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, my man said he was. We have a question here. P3, I'm sure. I think you know this guy, and I'll text you later on and show you. But
Okay.
this dude said that they were going to grow it on top of this building. I said the same thing because I said now you're going to have to open up your area and guard that area because if you have food, people are going to want it. He said it's going to be on top of the building, and I said.
If the building's not the highest high rise, they're subject to sniper shots.
I just told you it's 3 stories high.
They got
3
buildings
story
down
high
there
building.
that's 22 stories high.
It's it. If you when
Yeah.
we say
And
the,
you can
building,
average-
if you say the building,
The average simple shooter can shoot 800 yards easily. That's the novice shooter.
Don't
can do
say that to Jay. Jay, is that true? Jay, is that true? Yeah, Jay know all of that. So you go ahead, and preach that. I got backup now.
We had novice shooters doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So,
But you're right. The hydroponics grow indoors, right? So this building, I don't know.
That's like-
deep, but the building is
Don't.
it is big. I'm not.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because you'll give him away and blow his plans, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, somebody else is down here."
Thank you, Jay.
You know what I'm
Jay
saying?
said, "No, sir. Ain't no average joker dropping."
Oh,
now,
that's-
mind
that's-
you, the bullet might travel 800 yards, but it ain't
No.
gonna be accurate.
No, I've talked to. Come on, Jay. I've talked to the president's snipers back when Ronald Reagan was in, and I talked to him personally, and I knew their targets of opportunity was 800. We carry sniper rifles in Korea. I shot 800 myself.
No,
So-
that's you. You said
Oh.
the average dummy. We're talking about the average
No,
dummy.
We
Yeah.
had average dummies in our platoon shooting almost at the same range.
but they were being tutored.
that-
They were being tutored.
yeah, they were being
You're
tutored.
right. City Dip, you paint a different
Yeah.
picture. I'm thinking about this guy over there that I just bring in and say, here, have this rifle, shoot 800 yards, and he go, ping. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
You had a guy.
I'm talking about with an optic. I ain't talking
Yeah,
about
but-
iron
but-
sight.
No, I know, but somebody's telling him what to do, right?
Oh yeah,
Someone
yeah.
with-
We had
Yeah.
spotters. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But we're talking about average Joe. I'm thinking about that guy that we just passed, and he turns around and he can drop somebody at 800 yards. 800 yards is a nice feat.
If he's
If
It
you know
is.
what you're doing, and I'm not talking about a red dot. I'm talking about magnified
what-
glass.
if he's
Even
got
decent, halfway
if
decent.
these
glass.
guys if he's got a hunting rifle, believe me, they probably got it zero pretty far. You
Right.
know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that I don't know. I'm not doubting you, but I'm saying that those guys. You said average Joe, and we talking about Billy Bob and Scooter. Them dudes.
average
Now-
Joe Scooter is a shooter. You know what I'm
all
saying?
right. Now I'll tell you like this: if I'll give you Reggie,
They're not
and I know
called
Reggie. Reggie can
Fuds,
make that shot. Reggie can make that shot, right? But he's
Right.
he's a hunter. He's a hunter, and he's put shots out in taking long distance shots and hit small targets. Okay, so I got that. What I'm
800
saying to
yards
you-
is not that far, Jay. And
I know. We're
so-
both saying that. We agree with
yeah.
you.
right. So you can't that average. There's people out here pushing it past up to 1,000.
Right,
You
but they're
know?
not the average Joe.
No,
That's what I want you to
average
say.
Joe,
They're not the average Joe.
If you're gonna spend money and buy a $3,000 or $4,000 rifle, right?
That's different. Go ahead.
That's not the average Joe. That's a person that's into shooting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yes,
So you should be able to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Now the only thing a lot of people don't get is the windage, the elevation, and the mill dots and all
Thank
that
you,
other
Jay.
stuff.
Just keep them coming, brother. Keep
What
them
did he
coming.
say?
'Cause I
What did he
agree.
say?
He said the hunters have an average zero of 100 yards. Someone can be taught to shoot 800 yards. I
Right,
agree
they
with that.
can.
Right.
But I'm just saying you cannot underestimate the average shooter.
No, we
You
don't.
know what I'm saying?
We don't. That's my
Right.
nightmare. I wake up
Yeah.
in cold sweats with that. This
Right,
dude with a high
because
point just
The
laid me out.
average shooter can be just
You
you
heard
got
me.
guys who are natural.
Yeah.
The sniper, the guys who were on the president's sniper team were never military. They were civilians. They never been in the military. They shot for the school Olympic shooting teams.
You're
know what
now
I'm saying?
speaking to a dude, right, who's helping me out right now, who's got the 1,500 medal. He's got the 1,500 yard coin. Right?
Okay.
So that's why I mentioned it to him, and he said, "See, there's a wind and elevation."
Right, we already said
So-
that. We already said
Right.
that, Jay. Yeah.
But he's saying to you, these are the things that we have to understand, right?
Right.
Now, my point is, not the average Joe, right? The above average Joe, and I'm gonna leave you alone.
No, you have You got the below average Joe is a beginner. Average Joe is intermediate. You have an advanced Joe. Okay, so it's
Okay.
just the same as having a beginner shooter, a sharpshooter, and a expert.
Okay.
That's what the average Joe is. The average Joe is in between those two. The average Joe can learn to do those
yes,
two.
that's my point.
If
The
I did
learning.
not say beginner, I said average Joe.
Okay, right. Average
Okay.
Joe. So you
Average
when
Joe.
you mean, let's define your average Joe. Average Joe, you mean somebody that's an avid shooter that practices and has taken class, understanding of it, right?
If he's going to be out there defending that building, he's not going to be a beginner, because that guy is not going to have a beginner out there defending that building. If they're going to be out there attacking that building, they're not going to be beginners.
That's okay. Now we're
Okay.
on the same point. Now we're on the same
Right.
plane. That's what I'm saying. Because I want a Jay on my team. I want an Omar on my team. I don't even want you crazy ass self on my team. That's what I'm talking about. So when this guy's tried,
Okay.
when he said it, I'm sure they have people out there like that.
Okay. All right. So it's
Right.
P702 says P3.
He's actually
Well,
talking about the solar
hopefully.
panel.
Okay. Hopefully they can
With the
pick enough solar
hydroponics.
power. Yeah.
Right, with the
yeah.
hydroponics.
These guys are.
Now,
They're
now-
Growing
ridiculous.
grass. Growing
Okay.
weed.
Jay, a new shooter can be taught in one day to shoot 800 yards, but with
Right.
a good instructor. Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely.
Now he's on my
Now we're
side.
on the same page. There we
Yeah.
go. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Jay.
There
I
we
think
go.
everything was squared
Hey.
away.
We're on the
Now
same
we're on the
page.
same page.
Thank you, Jay. Thank
La
you.
la.
Yeah. See,
Ta-da.
now- If I had a hand to cover up Al's face. All right. There we go. Oh, come on now. All right. All right, guys. This was great.
Yeah.
This was really great.
Thank
we
you
had
all
a
for
good
stopping
time
by.
and talked about some good stuff. You guys gave us some great feedback. Some things to think about, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, especially that last part and the first part about talking about rifles and pistols. We didn't even get into guys carrying when they got 5.56 and they got a 50 power scope on there, which is also ridiculous. And or to have a
That peck box.
Yeah.
Peck box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got. I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I got something that got posted like 45 minutes ago
what's that?
about an active duty U.S. airman set himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy in Washington D.C. today.
Well,
He stated that he was an active duty member of the U.S. Air Force and he no longer wanted to be complicit in genocide before lighting himself on fire. Has been hospitalized for life-threatening burns.
he dies.
Yeah,
Air Force. Air Force.
yeah, it was wild.
You're
I'm just
thinking
saying.
too much.
That's
You're
stupid.
thinking too much.
I wouldn't have never
Good
done
job.
that. Yeah.
Hey, 702 got a Sealy Wolf Green Dot delivered today.
Oh, okay.
Let us
Yeah,
know
that's the
how
one
it
I
works
got.
out for you,
I
man.
got, and then it's been pretty good. It's been holding zero so far for the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
I've been having mine on there for probably about 30 days, and it's been doing pretty good. I've been bumping it
Cool.
around and carrying it and stuff, and it's still holding zero. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And the glass hasn't broke, and I'm very surprised about that. The only thing I noticed about the RMRs, you carry them, they get dusty, when you carry
Yeah.
them.
It's like a shelf.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that. And
You would like the enclosed emitter. Doesn't
I think that's what I'm gonna probably go with and down the road. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep looking in there. I got to hit the air compressor on it every day. I walk past it, and it's
I clean
ridiculous.
those a lot.
Yeah, and you know how much I hate cleaning stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I understand now.
Also, too, guys, we never got into the don't put a laser rangefinder on your damn ARs. It's stupid. You're not calling it a damn airstrike. You have no need for it, especially the guys who've never been in the military putting that crap on there. It's not Call of Duty in real life.
That's right.
What the hell? You're not even a squad leader. You know what I'm saying? What are you guys doing?
But
You know
mean
what I'm
there's not blue lasers? You mean
No.
blue lasers are something that you put on your rifle?
It's stupid. I mean, come on now. I mean,
Fantasy
ridiculous.
Island.
yeah. But other than that, we had a good time. We'll see you guys next time. Remember April 21st. It's a Sunday. We have a meet and greet, rifles only. Come on out. I'm gonna run you guys hard, so come on out. Beginners, if you guys just got your rifles and stuff, I'm not gonna run you hard. We're gonna take it easy on you guys. The first time you're buying your rifle and something like that, you want to come out and shoot it. Come on out. Just bring your ammo. Bring a snack. Come on out and have a good time. We won't, do anything crazy. Thank you, Jay, for stopping through. It was nice for you to stop through. It always is. Appreciate it, you guys. And also the rest of you guys for stopping in and keeping the show going. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. Our two main channels on YouTube and Rumble. Please like, share, and do whatever you need to do to get the word out that we're here. And thanks for sharing the knowledge. Thank you, Jay, for sharing your knowledge too.
Absolutely.
And putting Al in his place. And,
good one.
all right.
Good one.
All right. What you got, Al? What you got?
Hey, man, protect the Second Amendment.
All right. What you got, Omar?
Hey, keep shooting.
All right. We'll see you guys. See you in the
All right.
range.
Ciao, baby.
Hey.